Um, Bridge Academy is an educational institution in Hong Kong, and we provide early intervention for children with special education needs, SEN, using applied behavior analysis, ABA. And Dennis, he's the Senior Director of Hong Kong Applied Science and Technology Research Institute, S3. S3 was set up by the Hong Kong government with the mission of enhancing Hong Kong's competitiveness in technology-based industry through applied research. And we also have Albert Hui. Albert Hui is our program director of Bridge Academy. He has been working with children with autism and other special needs students since 2002. So now Bridge and S3 together, we have developed a digital learning platform to enhance teaching and learning with technology in SEN education field. Bridge is a government-approved educational institute in Hong Kong who has been serving over 300 SEN students for 6 years. We use ABA, applied behavior analysis, to help over 19% of students to gain improvement in their behavior, communication, independency, and academic performance. With 50% of students got offered and managed to adopt to mainstream school without further learning support. We have the mission of making ABA accessible and affordable to more SEN students. And that's why we set up Bridge AI and developed a digital learning platform utilizing massive open online course, MOOC, AI, artificial intelligence, and Internet of Things, IoT. And the system is supported by S3 and funded by the Hong Kong Innovative and Technology Bureau.
So, who are the students with special education needs? They include students with autism spectrum disorder, hearing impairment, language or speech impairment, and etc. So our aim, as Victor mentioned, is to help them back to study in the mainstream education. There are methodologies like applied behavior analytics, which Albert will talk about more later, which is a scientific proven pedagogy for students with special education needs. However, an effective applied behavior analytics based intervention program always requires one-on-one intensive training for up to 40 hours per week. It creates some problem in practically, especially when our students can't come to school this year. So in our talk, we will share our experience on how we help them to solve these problems.
Hi, I'll briefly talk a little bit about ABA. Applied behavior analysis is the science of understanding behavior. Now, it's applied as in it is applicable to make social significance, where skills are truly functional. It's behavioral as in it changes behavior dynamically from person to person and from person to environment. And it's analytical as it is of objective analysis. We try to thoroughly understand the origins of behavior and the causes and change after the intervention. Now, ABA is evidence-based and is highly data-driven, as we will take data on all the things that we teach and we review it afterwards. The effectiveness of ABA in improving conditions of SEN students has been well documented scientifically, and we aim to utilize the principles of ABA to tailor-make individual educational plans for each student. At this moment, our protocol in conducting ABA therapy can be separated into 4 stages. In the initial stage, we will conduct an observation and assessment for the student through interview with a parent and through early testing to find out their strengths and weaknesses, both at home and at school as well. And then afterwards, the supervisor will design a individual education plan according to the information gathered at the assessment. Third, our therapists will begin conducting training sessions with the student according to the goals and learning tasks listed in the IEP. Data will be collected per session, per instruction for later review. And finally, to evaluate, the supervisors will observe the training session and review and evaluate the student's progress regularly and make adjustments accordingly to maximize students' progress.
So even though ABA has been well documented to be an effective way to improve the condition of SEN students, there are still some major challenges faced by the industry which limit SEN students' access to ABA therapy. First main challenge that the industry has faced throughout the year is that there is a limited manpower in the field, as ABA therapist is less pursued career in Hong Kong when compared to other healthcare professionals. Secondly, with each students usually have multi-sections throughout the week, the maximum capacity of students intake is only around 3 to 4 students per therapist, limiting the number of students we can reach and serve. On another hand, space in special needs school are limited. Take Hong Kong as an example. Number of students enrolled in special needs school remained on a similar level since 2013, while the number of SEN students enrolled in public sector's mainstream school has a 34% increase, indicating the lack of resources in providing sufficient support and therapy for SEN students. Another problem faced by the industry is that with limited therapy time and with most parents receiving insufficient training, SEN students are not treated in a consistent manner outside of therapy sessions. This has led to an increase in difficulties in generalize their skills, knowledge, and training acquired in therapy sessions to other settings in their daily lives. And at times, there may be higher risk for students' behavior to regret and when he or she is no longer attending therapy session. With these challenges existing in the industry for a long time and with the number of SEN students growing globally, we feel that like there's an urge to tackle all these challenges heads on. With all the challenges mentioned above in mind, we have two objectives to develop a digital learning platform that aimed to bring accessibility and affordability ABA therapy. The first objective is to maintain the flexibility and quality of therapy sessions to suit the needs of every single student. On another hand, we would like to lower the teaching manpower need, thus lower the cost of therapy and bringing ABA therapy to a more and more SEN family. Looking at existing resources in the industry, we feel like the challenges mentioned above cannot be resolved without creating a learning platform outside of the existing system. What we have in mind is to be able to provide tailor-made classes at a similar level or even better level than a special needs school, while having a low level of manpower input and high level of accessibility. We built an advanced MOOC platform tailored for SEN. Our learning platform is easily operated by parents at home, and this will lower the reliance on supervisors and therapists. To ensure consistency and quality of therapy, our supervisors can track and monitor the students' learning progress throughout the system. And we provide training for parents to conduct ABA therapy by using our learning platform. Utilizing a massive online platform, we are able to provide a large training database consists of training materials and programs designed by our supervisors and therapists, which covers 6 different domains of ability that SEN students will need support with. With over 10,000 training programs available in our database and the number of programs is still growing, we're confident that we are able to provide the most suitable training program to every SEN students using the system. We are also providing clear instructions and video demonstration for each training program. And this ensures the parent can be familiar with every single program they are conducting, so the quality of therapy delivered can be assured. Our platform can also allow supervisors to review and monitor the progress of therapy, as well as to provide feedback when needed. This allows the quality of therapy to be maintained while lower the time input needed by the supervisors, maximizing the number of students each supervisor can cover and provide ABA therapy to more SEN students. Besides the online platform, we are implementing technology to SEN education to provide an even lower cost of therapy and more comprehensive view of therapy progress of students. First of all, we use multi-Internet of Things device to monitor our students' behavior, training performance, and learning environment. This provides us with a more comprehensive view of factors that can potentially improve the students' learning. For all the academic, environmental, and psychological data collected, we would then process all of them with our AI engine. Our AI engine will plan, adjust the IEP individualized education programs according to the student's profile, including their needs and performance in sessions. This will allow supervisors to monitor our students' progress much more effectively, enable them to attend a much larger pool of students at the same time. Here is an example of how our report from the sessions would look like. First of all, we have the full video of the training session captured by the system. This allows supervisors, therapists, and parents to see how exactly did the students behave and perform during a specific task at a specific moment in the session. At the bottom of the page, you will see we provide all the psychological and environmental data record, all of which will change and reflect the student's state of at one specific moment of time in the video. The mood of the students, which generate through all the data collected by IoT device, will also be labeled in a row right below the video, indicate the state of mood experienced by the students throughout the whole session. On the top of that, each task conducted by therapists will also be labeled in the video throughout a timestamp, which allow therapists and supervisors to easily review and even comment on one specific response or performance by the students. Integrating all the features mentioned above, our e-learning system for SEN students will also be providing a comprehensive view of the students' learning progress. We will be able to track the development of the students' ability and capability through the progression of therapy, covering different their performance of 6 domains of skills. So under the COVID-19 pandemic, we have over 50 students receiving behavioral therapy using our e-learning system. And currently we are collaborating with an SEN school in Hong Kong to use our system to conduct behavioral therapy for 60 SEN students in the school. In the near future, we will work with 20 SEN schools to provide this e-learning system for over 1,000 SEN students. Meanwhile, we are in contact with Hip Hong Society and Hongji Association, the two main organizations in Hong Kong working with SEN to use our systems. So we are thankful that our story has been planned and had covered by multimedia platform since our launch in March. For instance, we were invited to the innovative GPS by TVB and various radio and TV channels to share our vision. There's no doubt that we will try to reach out to even more school organizations and shareholders in making behavioral therapy available to more SEN students. Overall, the aim of our system is to bring ABA students from multiple backgrounds, especially the underprivileged community. Also, we hope students using our system can maximize and sustain when they have learned what they have learned, so they can shine in their own life and in their own way. As for therapists, we do hope to bring in more talent to the career path of behavioral therapists, and ABA therapists can gain more recognition. Last but not the least, we hope our system can serve as a platform to cultivate a community among students, parents, and therapists, and can provide a more concern to the SEN community. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for interesting and inspiring presentation. This is a very useful and hopefully to help the SEN to get adapted to the normal education. And it is time for our question and answer session. We still have 4 minutes. Is there any other questions from the floor? If not, there is a question in the chat function. Ms. Florentine asked that if the SEN join to the mainstream of university, does he or she further need any support from the department?
If the SEN students join the mainstream school, so right now our system could be able to be used at home for the parents using the e-learning systems to perform the ABA therapy at home. And currently we are having a use case to work with one SEN school in Hong Kong, so that if it is successful, then we will be able to serve more SEN schools other than in Hong Kong.
Okay, and another questions from Tina. So that how do we select parents for the participation? How do we support the parents to use the technology to support their child learning in terms of time investment?
Hi. As far as parental use goes, we will provide training beforehand before they commence using the application. We will actually teach them how to use not just the app itself, but also give them ABA training. So therefore, they're able to conduct therapy at home for themselves. And I guess it's not so much how do we select, it's whether the parents are available, how they choose to conduct the sessions themselves. And as far as time investment goes, with our therapists, we actually conduct sessions maybe 2 to 3 times a week at a minimum, and then 2 to 3 hours per session. But as far as parents working at home with their students, with their children, we're aiming for something a little bit more functional and more reasonable. So maybe we're looking at 30 minutes per session with parents, as opposed to the 2 and 3 hour frame that we have for therapists.
Okay, and there is also another questions about what a range that SEN accepts. Is there age preference?
I'm not quite certain what the questionnaire the person fielding the question, but I guess the age range is about 2 to 11. That what we're working on is most suitable for. Because of the programs that we have are we've tracked it from our current students. So therefore, the range is about 2 to 11. Yeah.
Okay. And is there other question from the floor?
No, not from the chat.
Okay, and to see is there any from the chat? Seems no. Yeah, and thank you for your interesting presentation, and it's very inspiring.